the surface, it's calm and tranquil. But go a little deeper, and it's just mayhem. This is the world of underwater hockey. And that's me, pucking it up.
Coming into this episode, I thought my swimming background would help me with this. Why do I feel so out of depth?
I'm Benjamin Kheng, and I'm game enough for underwater hockey. My deep dive into underwater hockey started 2 weeks ago.
Looks like you still got it, huh?
No, I don't. I'm very tired.
You're still going pretty fast.
Way slower than we used to.
This is Sheena. We've spent a good portion of our teenage years at the pool together, training at the Singapore Sports School on the National Youth Swimming Team. But today, we've gathered at the pool for a very different reason.
Here is your underwater hockey coach. So, first of all, let's assess how well you do underwater. You're going to swim underwater at the bottom of the pool.
Sheena is assessing how comfortable I am diving to and swimming along the bottom of the pool, all while holding my breath.
Oh, it's been a while. Oh my goodness. How was that?
That was good.
Yeah?
You did well. You managed to stay flat on the bottom of the pool.
Why is it important in underwater hockey to maintain such a flat body posture?
Let me explain a bit more about underwater hockey to you on land. I mean, it's getting a bit cold now.
Yeah, it's actually very cold.
After retiring from competitive swimming in 2009, Sheena found herself in a different arena when she joined the Stirling Underwater Hockey Club in 2015. The club sent out teams to represent Singapore at the 2019 SEA Games.
Mostly Singapore, like...
The men's team and women's team each competed in 2 events, 4v4 and 6v6, and Team Singapore swept all 4 gold medals. Yet, despite the team's success, many here have never heard of this sport.
Might be a bit of a silly question, but what is underwater hockey?
We'll start with players on either side of the pool, and the puck will be placed in the middle. And when the start is signaled, players will rush to the puck. So you have to pass the puck to your teammates and then try and get the puck into the opponent's goal. Now with the COVID restrictions easing up, the club has organised a 4v4 friendlies tournament within the club.
Okay, nice.
And I very kindly signed you up to join the tournament as well.
Of course, the show would do that to me, right?
Yeah, your objective for this game is to score at least 1 goal.
It's no problem. How hard could it be, really?
I'm sure you can do it. I mean, you swim really fast. For newcomers, usually the fear is submerging themselves completely underwater.
Yeah.
You need to really be flat on the ground so that you can have a lot of strength behind the puck.
Do you hold your breath for the entire match?
So 1/2 of a game is 12 minutes. There's no way you're going to stay 12 minutes underwater.
Yeah.
And usually you're just underwater for maybe 10 to 20 seconds. And then you go up and take a breath and then you go down again. Let me just show you what you can do with the puck, some basic skills that you need in order to play underwater hockey.
Yeah, I'm down.
Let's go.
Ah!
How do you think it's played?
You slide it and you hit the guy's head.
Can also.
I don't think I'm
No,
right.
just
Okay.
kidding. This is how you hold the stick and you're only allowed to hold it with one hand.
Can you switch hands in the middle of a match?
Unfortunately, no.
Can I wrap the puck?
No. So that's actually a foul if you touch the puck with your glove or any other body parts. So the most basic skill for puck control actually is to know how to push and pull the puck.
Okay. This is me kind of dribbling the puck.
Yeah.
I want to stop you from taking the puck. Then what do I do?
So you move your stick to the outside of the puck and you pull it towards your chest.
Is enough?
Yeah. And then you keep... Yeah, so you're not actually allowed to put your hand in front.
I knew that, just for, character purposes.
You can also do the figure of 8, basically moving the puck left and right.
It's very gracious. I'm very confused.
And then for the flick, you actually tilt the stick a little backwards. So what we're doing here is letting the puck roll along the side of the stick. And then once it hits the end, you lift your wrist up 90 degrees.
Oh, no, that's the wrong way. I did it wrong way. Don't learn from me.
Almost there.
It's this way. This has all been a lot to digest. And I'm sure it's even harder in the water, right?
For me, that was the hardest part. when I first started underwater hockey, getting puck control, getting the stick work in. But I'm sure you get better with practice.
I'm just pucking around. Let me get some extra practice in first.
Hey, you forgot something?
Underwater hockey. This is heavy. Who on earth would make a game out of pushing this along the bottom of a swimming pool? And who would be crazy enough to play it?
Well, these guys, apparently. These veterans of the Stirling Underwater Hockey Club have a little history lesson to share with me. Underwater hockey originated in England in the winter of 1954 as a way for divers to keep fit when it got too cold to dive at sea. The sport spread to Southeast Asia in 1979 to the Philippines when a dive shop owner read about the sport and organized their own games. The Philippines remained the only country playing the sport in the region till 2004.
I was one of the earlier players here, but well back in 2004.
Actually, Joey is one of the founders of underwater hockey in Singapore.
There were actually 3 of us. 2 of us were from the Philippines, and 1 was from Australia. And so we invited people from various groups, office people, scuba diving people, fin swimming people. And we just brought them all down on a Friday night, and we introduced the sport, and the rest was history.
In the last probably decade, there's been a sharp uptick in underwater hockey in the region. We've also helped introduce the sport to Indonesia.
As underwater hockey gained popularity regionally, it became a SEA Games event for the first time in 2019.
Who was your most formidable opponent? Probably the Philippines, as well as Indonesia. All the matches were really close. Has it been easy on you guys ever since the big SEA Games win?
You mean beating off all his fans?
No. No, definitely not. 99% of the time, when I tell people I play underwater hockey, they'll be like, just get this quizzical look like, underwater hockey? What? What do you think makes it tough for people to understand about the sport?
As a matter of fact, you can just look. There's a whole bunch of players that
can't see what's going on.
one of its challenges is it's not spectator friendly. That has been a hindrance to getting a lot of people interested in the sport.
In fact, underwater hockey is not featured in this year's SEA Games. It is not a recognized sport in the host country, Vietnam. But that hasn't stopped the close-knit Singapore squad from training, even throughout the pandemic.
We've been splitting the court into groups of 5 players. So actually, one of our enterprising members actually created an app. Yeah, so in this app, we can sign up for training and to sign up for each of the training sessions. So with that, we're looking forward to the 4 versus 4 game, which we'll be taking part in together. Absolutely.
Yeah. And honestly, I think with you guys on my team, we're going to have a really good chance of winning. I mean,
well, actually, I'm going to be playing against you.
You're not on my team?
No. Sheena will be with you.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, Sheena, help, Sheena! So, my longtime friend Sheena has given me the unenviable challenge. After 2 weeks of training, I have to score a goal at the bottom of the pool with this thing because it's so easy, right? What up, coach?
Hi.
What's going on?
How are you doing?
Very scared. So I took the liberty of bringing my own fins. Do these work?
We tend to use bigger, longer fins because speed is quite important in the game.
Of course.
So I've bought a few more items that will help up your game.
Oh, interesting.
We wear this to protect our ears from any impact that we may get underwater. So we also have the snorkel, and it comes with a mouth guard. So the snorkel is for you to keep breathing while watching the game on the surface. So it's important for you to follow where the game is. We also have the mask, which we wear underwater. We also have the glove to protect your hands and fingers from any accidental hits or scratches from the floor. So you met your opponent, John,
Yes, sure.
and today you meet your teammates.
Ah. Oh! Hello.
I'm Zetian.
Zetian, nice to meet you.
I'm Kathy.
Kathy, what's up? How long have you guys been playing underwater hockey?
A year.
A year.
And for me, 2 years.
Wow, okay. We're all quite new to it, I guess.
Yeah, but with some practice, I'm sure you can beat Team John. Yeah, just like, yeah.
Okay, on 3, team just whack. 1, 2, 3.
Team
Just whack!
For the first drill, So we'll practice pushing and swimming with the puck. And then we'll do a curl and then swim back towards the wall and pass the puck to your teammate.
While I had little trouble with the swimming, controlling the puck underwater was a whole different matter.
You bully me! You bully me! You never bully me!
Yeah, because you lost the puck.
Definitely don't keep looking at the puck because you have to know where your opponents are.
Playing underwater hockey for the first time is kind of like driving a car for the first time. You see people do it and you're like, oh, it could be quite easy. It's not easy. For the first time in my life, now I'm playing a team sport. I have to know who is beside me, where my teammates are, where the puck is. There's a lot of things to look at. I'm not used to it. Oh, so tired. All right. Okay, I think we're done for the day.
Yeah, let's go get dinner.
Over dinner, I found out that among Stirling Underwater Hockey Club's 70-odd members, close to a quarter of them actually joined during the pandemic, Kathy and Zhedian included.
What about you, Kathy? How did you first get into underwater hockey?
I read an article about a 50-year-old lady who won a gold medal in the SEA Games. And I thought, maybe that could be me one day.
That was 2 years ago?
Yeah, so I'm 36 years old, and I started when I was 34. Other players in the team, some of them are in their 40s, 50s, 60s. So I think that's a sport that I can grow into.
Would you ever consider turning pro and really going for tournaments and competitions?
Yeah, I mean, that's a dream, to go elite.
What's the difference between other sports and underwater hockey?
Underwater hockey is like a very new sport. It's upcoming and it's developing. Other sports, there'll be coaches that like tell you what to do exactly, but underwater hockey is more about experimenting and self-learning.
Speaking of which, it's time I learned about the different positions and strategies.
For this upcoming competition, there will be 2 forwards and 2 backs. We'll nominate Ben to be forward. So the job of the forward, I guess in short, is to
Just to whack.
just whack.
Team just whack.
When someone passes you the puck, your objective is to swim it as fast as you can towards the goal.
Okay.
And the other forward supporting you would be Kathy. And then Third and I will play the back position.
You have to be very aware of where people are and whether they need to go up for a breath.
Your objective for the competition is to score at least 1 goal. I'm sure you can out-swim all of them.
Okay, I think I have a lot of training to do.
I have to get my puck basics up to speed, and relying on team training sessions isn't enough. So, individual puck drills it is.
Practicing on your own, secret training.
And you know what they say about keeping your friends close and your enemies closer?
So in the water, it would look something like this.
I've asked my opponent John to give me some pointers today.
The stick is always touching the puck. See?
Thanks for coming by today, John.
Hey, no worries, man. How was it?
Actually, it was better than I thought.
In 2019, our normal training was 3 times a week, normally, before SEA Games. And when SEA Games announced, obviously, we had to ramp it up. At the peak, we were training about 9 times a week. We look for pools around between 2 to 3 meters. Such pools are quite rare to have, first of all, that depth and have completely flat bottom. Because of all these pool requirements, it was quite difficult to find pools. The thing is that underwater hockey is such a small and non-mainstream sport. We don't have the full-time staff looking after us, so a lot of us are balancing work, family, training, plus this additional load of admin and logistics. And at times, we were so desperate that we had to go to like each other's condos and swim and train. If I go into the cost,
Well, let's go to the cost. Like, on average, can you give me an average number of how much you guys have invested?
Over the course of 2019, 10,000 of personal expense. Yeah, because we have to pay for the pools. We go overseas for our training camps, flights, accommodation.
After hearing, the story of the team and your personal story, I want to really train hard. I'm sure I'm going to get old, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
Well, looking forward to it.
18 years ago, the forefathers of Singapore underwater hockey started in this very compound here in Queenstown.
So, that's where I've come for one last training session before my final match.
Hey, morning Ben. Good morning. Let's go get changed, you guys out of water.
Meeting me is Chian Wei, who has plenty of experience guiding new players in the sport. He's getting me to crash a hockey school session organized by the club, where new players can dip their toes into the sport.
Let's go forward. I'll try to pass it to you.
Okay, I'll try.
Ready? Go.
The Underwater Hockey School is a 10-week program open to anyone keen to try out the sport for the first time.
We're gonna go right into the next one. We're gonna race for the puck.
Today, some of the players here are as young as 11 years old.
Oh, good one.
What you saw just now was a graduation game. So this is like the 10th week of the hockey school. This 10 weeks, they are really playing with players around the same skill level.
Yeah.
After this, they are free to join the club in the rest of the trainings with the higher skill players.
From what I've seen today, a lot of your students are quite young. Is this something intentional?
The future of underwater hockey is really the youth, right? So what we want to do is to go into schools, have underwater hockey as a approved CCA.
Man, I wish I was 10 or 12 and I could get into this from the start. Maybe I had an easier shot at winning a SEA Games gold.
Hey Ben, really, the truth is that it's not too late to start.
Finally, it's match day. Before we hit the pool, I grab a quick bite with my friend turned teammate, Sheena.
How long has it been since your last swimming competition, man?
It's been more than 15 years, I think. When you first took up underwater hockey, did you see yourself competing professionally?
When I first started, I didn't really like it. In 2015, I got dragged to participate in the Asian Underwater Hockey Championships in Indonesia.
And how was that?
We lost. I was going to stop after the competition. I was like telling them, okay, I'll try one competition, and then after that, I'm out. Right?
Yeah.
But when we lost that competition, I was just like,
Fire starts burning, right?
yeah, I was like, we need to win this.
Right.
Here I am 7 years later, and I'm still training for competition.
To be honest, I think just getting back into a competitive spirit, competitive situation is going to be really fun for me.
And here we go. Showtime. Our opponents are in white, and my team is in black. My team is captained by Sheena, and the other team by John. The rest are pretty new to the sport, having joined during the pandemic.
Woo! Exciting!
Warm up your neck so that you can look around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some quick warm-ups, and it's go time.
Black ready. White ready. Black, white, go.
I race to the puck, but John beats me to it. It's getting really intense and chaotic. I try to get my hands on the puck, but to no avail. And before I know it,
Goal to the white team, 1-0.
after each goal, teams reset to their positions on opposite sides of the pool. Second time round, I get to the puck first, but then I quickly run out of breath. My whole team goes up for a breath at the same time, and there's no one left to receive Kathy's pass. This leaves the white team free to take possession of the puck unopposed.
Goal to the white team, 2-0. Black, white, go.
These boys came out to play, man. They're really aggressive.
So I think for the next strike, we will go on defense. So we're not going to win the puck this time round.
Switching to defense, I managed to block the puck just before it enters the goal, stopping a score by the white team. I finally contributed to the team, and this happens.
Sorry. I crammed it. Oh, cramp.
It's good. No,
I'm good.
After that glorious save, I saw he came out and he rolled nothing out. Okay. It's going to be the last goal. Let's stick to our strategy. We're going to defense on the strike. And let's try our best to score the goal. Come on.
And then I find myself with the puck, all clear to take the goal. This is my chance to score for the team, my first goal ever. But remember this bit of advice from 9 days ago?
Definitely don't keep looking at the puck because you have to know where your opponents are.
Yeah, John sneaks up on me and steals the puck. And his team ends up scoring on the other end instead.
Cheers to the black team! Hip! Hey! Hip! Hey! Hey!
And that was it. My first underwater hockey match. In the end, we lost 4-0. And no, I didn't score. And I blame this guy.
Well done.
Nice one, man. Thank you.
man.
Thank you. That was a great game.
Each goal, I saw you make adjustments. Your positioning was great to receive the passes. It's only your first real game, and you did really well.
Thank you.
So it took me about a year and a half before I could play a game like this. So for you to achieve this after only a few days, I think is pretty cool.
Thank you.
Okay, after 2 weeks and one very intense competition, I was really inspired by how committed and self-sufficient everyone is. Everyone feels like they own a bit of the sport. Underwater hockey is definitely one of the most tiring sports, for sure. But there's something intensely enjoyable and almost therapeutic about being underwater and being with everybody. I can't explain it. I think you might just have to try it for yourself to understand.
Okay, thanks for the experience, guys. It was great.